So in the upper part of the anterior wall is present two parallel tubes. Opening of the two parallel tubes are canals. These two tubes or canals runs downwards, forwards and the medially and opens into the pectus and squamous junction of the pectus and squamous part of pectus temporal bone. These two tubes runs downward, forwards and medially and opens at the junction of the pectus and the squamous part of the temporal bone. Now the upper tube, the upper one canal, this canal contains the tensor tympani muscles. The tensor tympani, it is present in the anterior wall, in the upper canal. While the lower canal, this is the bony part of the auditory tube. This auditory tube that connects the tympanic cavity with the lateral wall of the nasopharynx. So, one opening of the auditory tube is present in the anterior wall of the tympanic cavity, and the second opening, it is the lateral wall of the nasopharynx. So, these two canals, one for the tensor tympani muscles and the lower one, it is the bony part of the auditory tube. Now, between two canals, there is a bony partition. These bony partitions, which tip is like hook-like, and this structure is called the process cochleariformis. This is the processes. Cochleariformis. It is the bony partitions between the two tubes. Its posterior end is formed like hook-like structures. And this hook hold the tendon of the tensor tympani. This tensor tympani muscles is attached to the root of the handle of the malleus, and this hook of this process cochleariformis holds the tendon of the tensor tympani. And the second importance of this processus cochleariformis is opposite to this, it is present the geniculate ganglion of this facial nerve, that is the sensory ganglion, or can say the external genu of the facial nerve is present opposite to it. So, if you summarize the anterior wall, lower part of the anterior wall is related to the internal carotid artery separated by the thin plate of the bone, pierced by the caroticotympanic nerve and the vessels. In the upper part, there are two openings, two canals, one for the tensor tympani muscles and the lower one for the auditory tubes. And the bony partition between it is the processus cochleariformis, that hook-like projections which hold the tendon of this tensor tympani muscles. Now the posterior wall of the tympanic cavity. The posterior wall, it has the following features. First, it is the adytus to antrum. This opening is the adytus to antrum. Posterior to the tympanic cavity, this is the mastoid air cells. Mastoid antrum is present, in which the mastoid air cells. The communications between the tympanic cavity and the mastoid antrum, this gate, this opening is known as the adytus to antrum, which is present posteriorly. Now the second, it is the fossa inguris. Fossa inguris. This is present close to the lower part of the adytus to antrum, and this fossa, this depression, provides attachment to a ligament. Provides attachment to a ligament that connect the short process of the stapes with this fossa. So this is a depression. The depression is known as the fossa inguinalis, where the short process of this stapes is attached along with the ligament. Now the third part, it is the vertical part of the facial canal. This is the vertical part of the facial canal. It is a bony part in which the facial nerve runs. This diagram, this is the vertical part. In this diagram, this is the vertical part of the facial canal. This vertical part of the facial canal is situated below the adductus to antrum, and downwards it communicates with the stylomastoid foramen, through which facial nerve comes out. Then another structures after the vertical part, it is the pyramidal eminence. Pyramidal eminence. Pyramidal eminence, in this diagram, this is the pyramidal eminence. It is a hollow conical projections. These hollow conical projections from the upper part of this bony part of the facial canal. There is a pyramidal projections. It is a hollow. That is known as the pyramidal eminence. Pyramidal eminence. This is the vertical part of the facial canal. From this anterior part, this is the pyramidal eminence. Now in this pyramidal eminence, this is the stapedius muscle is present. Stapedius is present on the posterior wall, while the tensor tympani is present in the anterior wall. Now there is a minute pore at the apex of this pyramidal eminence. Through this, the tendon of this stapedius comes out, and this attached to the neck of the stapes. Means the tensor tympani attached to the malleus, while this stapedius is attached to the neck of the stapes, and its tendon comes out through the pinhole opening present at the apex of this pyramidal eminence, which is present anterior to the vertical part of the facial canal. So this is the important features. Now last, it is the posterior canaliculus. This posterior canaliculus, it is the opening through which the chorda tympani nerve, which is a branch of the facial nerve, enters the middle ear cavity. This facial nerve runs in the vertical part of the facial canal, but this canal, it is a bony canal, so facial nerve is separate from the cavity. Now through this posterior canaliculus, in this diagram, this is the posterior canaliculus, this chorda tympani nerve enters and runs along the lateral wall, that is formed by the tympanic membrane, and comes out through this middle ear cavity. So the posterior wall in the short, from above to downwards, it is the adductus to antrum. Then it is the vertical part of the facial canal in which the facial nerve runs. Then it is the fossa inguinalis, where the stapes short process is attached. Then it is the pyramidal eminence, where the stapedius is present, and it is supplied by the nerve to the stapedius, branch of the facial nerve. Then at the lower end, it is the posterior canaliculus, through which chorda tympani nerve enters the middle ear cavity. These are the important features present on the posterior wall of the tympanic cavity. Now the question is, what are the branches given by the facial nerve in this facial canal? Name the branches. Now the important one, that is the medial wall. This medial wall, it separates the tympanic cavity from the internal ear. Means it separates the middle ear from the internal ear. These are the points, these are the features of the medial wall of the tympanic cavity. This is the first number. It is the promontory. The promontory, it is a bulging, round elevations present in the middle of the medial wall. Middle of the medial wall, there is a round bulging, and this bulging is known as a promontory. And this bulging is due to the basal fold or first term of cochlea of internal ear. The internal ear is the cochlea. The first turn, basal turn of the cochlea produce this bulging, which is represented as the round elevations in the middle of the medial wall. Now at this promontory, it is present the tympanic plexus. Outside the mucous membrane, this is the tympanic plexus that is present on the promontory. This tympanic plexus, it is the sensory supply of the middle ear cavity, mastoid antrum, eustachian tube. This tympanic plexus, it is formed by the tympanic branch of the glossopharyngeal nerve. The tympanic branch that enters through the floor of the cavity. Then it is formed by the caroticotympanic nerve. Caroticotympanic nerve, that are the sympathetic plexus around this internal carotid artery that pierces the anterior wall. These two structures form the tympanic plexus, and this tympanic plexus is present on the promontory outside the mucous membrane, and it is the chief sensory supply of this region.